Good. And again.
If you can get guys out in the first and second round, then why not? Like, if anyone was to see how I train in camp, like for this fight, I've done 1 6-rounder, 2 6-rounders, sorry, 2 8-rounds, and the rest have been 10.
Moses Itauma isn't holding back. In a recent verbal onslaught, the young heavyweight phenom issued a brutally honest warning after seeing Dillian Whyte's latest training footage, and his breakdown was far from flattering. Itauma tore into Whyte's camp with surgical precision, calling out what he sees as glaring weaknesses, slow feet, labored punches, and a lack of sharpness that, in his words, screams vulnerability rather than danger. There's a smirk on Itauma's face as he talks, not arrogance, but the confident smile of a fighter who...
I'm not prepared. Like I'm not preparing to fight Dillian Whyte for 1 or 2 rounds. Like I'm prepared to go for 10 rounds. If it goes that, it goes that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like these fights that I'm going into, I'm not going into them thinking I'm gonna knock him out in the first or second round. I'm going in thinking like, okay, cool. This is a 10-round fight.
Believes he's already operating on a different level. From the way he sizes up his opponent, it's clear he doesn't see this as an evenly matched contest. In his mind, Whyte's conditioning, strategy, and intensity simply can't match his own. And then he delivers the headline-grabbing statement, "I'm going to knock him out in the first or second round. I'm going..."
3, 2, 5.
In like, okay, cool. This is a 10-round fight. I'm not preparing to fight Dillian Whyte for just 1 or 2 rounds. If it goes that far, it goes that far. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The comment isn't just a boast, it's a glimpse into the mindset of a young fighter who knows exactly what he's capable of. It's no coincidence that Itauma's confidence grew even louder after a particular sequence of events. Not long after Whyte's sluggish, heavy-footed training session surfaced online, Itauma's own...
Obviously, I'm going up against the next Mike Tyson, as in he's been compared to Mike Tyson and a lot of great fighters, you know what I mean? I'm just little old me. I never been compared to a journeyman in the great era. He's been compared to Mike Tyson, so...
Yeah, I mean, Camp released footage of him in peak form, moving with lightning speed, exploding into combinations, and showing footwork most heavyweights can only dream of. The side-by-side comparison was brutal. Fans instantly rallied behind the younger man, convinced they were witnessing the rise of a new star. "This camp's going smooth," Itauma said with a calmness that made the words even more intimidating. "Dillian's just another threat. It's about executing the game plan as usual." YT, for his part, didn't deny the
boxing. The guy who's 24 years old, who's got always faculties right, getting trained by one of the best trainers in the United Kingdom, and then mate, it's like you got more chance of winning the lottery than you beating that Moses Itauma. Let's be honest about it.
Risk. In fact, his own words sounded like those of a man fully aware the tide might be turning against him. Still, the veteran tried to fire back with some old-school bravado. "Maybe I'm an older wolf, but I still got teeth, man. I'll bite the F*** out of someone." It was a vivid statement, but against a younger, sharper predator like Itauma, even the sharpest teeth may not be enough. Derek Chisora, a man who's been in the trenches of heavyweight warfare, didn't sugarcoat his feelings either. He called Itauma a young wrecking machine, lightning fast, razor sharp, and drilled by...
There's the deluded guy, man. There's the deluded. I don't know. Listen, I took this fight without knowing how much money they were going to pay me.
Really?
You know, I still don't even know how much they pay me yet. My guys doing the country. So honestly, I don't know how much they pay me. You know, I don't know. I just took the fight because it's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
By one of the best trainers in the game. In contrast, he said, YT's plotting style and suspect gas tank looked tailor-made for disaster. Chisora even joked, or perhaps half-warned, that someone should call the police and decide who goes to prison when Dillian gets battered badly. That's not hype. That's a grim prediction from a fighter who has seen how brutal the sport can be. But not everyone was impressed with Chisora's take. YT, referred to by some as YT in the heated back and forth, didn't just brush off Chisora's words, he buried him. Calling the veteran deluded was the polite part. The real sting came when Whyte treated Chisora's opinion as irrelevant background noise. Why am I taking advice from you when I spanked you twice? Whyte snapped. Bro.
He's got skill set, fast hands, footwork. From what I've seen, he's got a chin. Not that you need to be getting hit with these wild shots, because clearly you've done something wrong.
I almost ended your life, so why am I listening to you? The venom was unmistakable. While the veterans traded barbs, another respected voice in British boxing, Anthony Yarde, weighed in with high praise for Itauma. Known for his measured takes, Yarde isn't one to hand out compliments freely, but from the moment Itauma burst onto the scene, Yarde saw something rare: the hand speed, the footwork, the composure. He's not just talented, Yarde said. He's complete. A fighter who can attack and defend with equal brilliance. For Yarde, this wasn't hype. It was the calculated opinion of someone who shared the ring with elite talent and knows the difference between a prospect and a problem. Even Whyte, despite his fighting words, couldn't help but acknowledge the truth.
When people, a lot of the time, a lot of the general public, you know, the expectation's almost like it's a 2 or 3 round job for Moses. And my opinion is, if there was any other heavyweight in the world boxing Dillian Whyte, they wouldn't say it's a 2-3 round job. So I think that just tells you how highly people think of.
Obviously for me, it's probably more risky because he's young. He's 20. He can come again. It'll be a lot harder for me to come again. It was a quiet admission that the stakes were higher for him than for his opponent. Ben Davison, one of boxing's most respected trainers, echoed what many fans were already saying. The reason people talk about Itauma finishing Whyte in 2 or 3 rounds isn't disrespect, it's belief. That belief comes from watching Itauma dismantle seasoned opponents with speed, precision, and ring IQ far beyond his years. As one analyst put it, Itauma's mobility and coordination are so refined that his skill set would hold up even in lighter divisions, a rare quality for a heavyweight. That blend of youth.
Around him, honestly, and you're as good as your team, but I think he's got a really good team around him after being in the ring with him and studying him, still studying him now. I think that he's the one to edge him.
Hunger and flawless fundamentals makes him a nightmare for anyone, and Whyte has never faced a heavyweight with that kind of fluidity. Anthony Joshua has also felt Itauma's sharpness firsthand and didn't hesitate to praise him, calling his team really good and implying that Itauma has all the tools to be Britain's next big heavyweight star. Liam Smith, another seasoned pro, reinforced the narrative by pointing out the stark contrast between Itauma's explosive camp footage and Whyte's slower, more predictable sessions. The difference in energy, precision, and hunger was glaring. For Spencer Oliver, the upcoming fight is more than just another heavyweight clash. It's a proving ground. Oliver predicts Itauma won't just win, but will do so in style. His reasoning, the sharp pivots.
I like Dillian, but I think Moses wins and wins well. I think he's a class act. I think Dillian's best days are probably behind him. And I think he's a special talent, Moses, so, you know, I think Moses wins.
Combinations and defensive reflexes Itauma has been showing in training make him look almost untouchable. Whyte's experience, while undeniable, can only take him so far against youth and speed. Tony Bellew's take was blunt. The easiest way to beat Whyte is to catch him early with a single big shot. Bellew warned that Whyte can be dangerous if he's allowed to settle into a fight, but Itauma's aggressive, explosive starts in sparring suggest he's already planning to apply that blueprint. Buddy McGirt, another veteran trainer, focused on mindset. He likened Itauma's approach to bullets and gun smoke. Dramatic, yes, but fitting. The young fighter is approaching this bout like a predator stalking prey. Watching Itauma's fast, technical sparring compared to Whyte's slower, more labored work tells a story all on its own. Dave Coldwell added his perspective, mapping out Whyte's only real shot at victory. Land something big early and slow, Itauma down. But as Coldwell admitted, that's easier said than done.
Come and give it everything, because he knows it's last chance saloon for him. He needs the victory here. So, look, We find out just how good Moses Itauma is, I think, on the 16th of August when he boxes Dillian Whyte, because I think he wins it and wins it in style. But everyone they put in front of him so far, he's just dismantled. I think this kid's going to go on and...
Itauma's razor-sharp footwork, elite defensive awareness, and ability to control distance make him incredibly hard to hit clean. Coldwell noted that Itauma's ability to bait opponents into throwing at the wrong time, only to counter with fight-ending shots, is a rare gift. In the end, Coldwell's breakdown sounded almost like a compliment disguised as caution. This fight is more than just another date on the boxing calendar. It's where hype meets reality. Itauma's brutal public warning after watching Whyte's training footage wasn't empty trash talk. It was the calculated confidence of a young fighter who believes he can exploit every flaw in Whyte's game. Whyte brings grit, a proven chin, and a name forged in tough battles. But against Itauma's youth, speed and precision, those assets might not be enough. If Itauma wins, and wins in the dominant fashion many predict, he won't just beat a veteran contender.
For the attributes he possesses and what he's willing to go through. You can't have an easy night. He's going to put it on you. So the only way, the easiest it can possibly be is...
He'll announce himself as a genuine force in the heavyweight division, potentially fast-tracking his route to a world title shot. If Whyte pulls off the upset, it will be the ultimate statement that the old guard can still tame the new generation. But right now, the momentum, form, and public belief are heavily leaning towards the young lion. The question is simple. Will Moses Itauma prove the hype right and dominate, or will Dillian Whyte find a way to silence him? Either way, when the bell rings, the talking stops, and the truth comes out.